Welcome to another episode of PBJ Garage. I got some cool stuff going on, so I figured I'd make a video. Doing something a little unusual for me. I know most of you guys are here for the Honda stuff. Kind of going against Hondas a little bit. Not going against, I guess. But we're not building a Honda. We're going to build a Volkswagen. About a year ago, I did my first vr6 swap in a 80s Golf Mark II chassis. I bought a Passat as a donor car, vr6 swapped the GTI. I got a beautiful Mark II Jetta from Brandon, Convenient Car Channel. Check him out. We're going to kind of collaborate a little bit. I'm going to do a video, he's going to do a video, kind of on the process of this Mark II swap, because this is a unmolested Mark II Jetta. It's a 4-door. It's my favorite color. And if everybody knows, my favorite color is red. It's kind of dark outside right now, so I get better pictures later. But so yesterday we went and got a Passat wagon, a B4 Passat wagon, vr6 5-speed. It's got a second gear scratch. We call it a scratch, but second gear sometimes isn't even there. You can fucking bang it. Not there. You go real nice and slow. I can start off in second. You go real nice and slow, you got second. If you're anywhere above 3.5 RPMs, 3,500 RPMs, second gear is nowhere to be found. Anyways, I traded Brandon some stuff for a good tranny. I'm looking at the wagon. I'm looking at the Mark II Jetta. I have both here. The B4 Passat, bought it for 340 bucks. All I bought that car for was a vr6 swap. I didn't give a shit about the car, just as long as it ran. Didn't have rod knock, anything like that. I got there, we checked it out. Started, got a little bit of chain noise. Could be a tensioner, could be chains. Gonna do those. Brandon might put that on his channel, to doing chains, because I have no effing clue how to do anything on a VR6 or a Jetta for that. I mean, anybody can swap a motor. I've swapped plenty of motors before, so that's the easy part. He's going to help me wire it up. I did do, the VR6 swap before, so I'm kind of relative to it. It's not going to scare me too much. I know what I need to do, and he knows the rest of what I need to do. The wiring, what I need out of the Passat to go into the Jetta, to make this basically a plug-and-play, bolt-in affair. So yeah, we got there. It ran. Drove it around the block. The Passat, that is. Drove it around the block. Here's your money. Drove it home 70 miles. It's got pretty fat oil leak, some chain noise. Otherwise, it's a good car. I'll kind of take you guys. I don't have a good light, so you're gonna see what you see. Sorry about that. I did plan on making this earlier, but so this is the B4 Passat wagon. I've been loading it with all the junk I have laying around. There's no subs in there, it's just filled with dirt. It's on H&R lowering springs that are super blown. Super pretty color. It's a pretty straight car. It's got driver's edition yellow seats. I would put these in the Mark II if that wasn't right there. There's Pauline's manifold. I can kind of show you guys the reason her car hasn't been running and we missed IFO, well, for season opener, import face-off, but we will be out in August with her car. It's got 205,000 on it. I mean, a super decent car. Front tires are smoked. Kind of take you around here. Got a little side swipe. Like I said, H&R lowering springs. You can kind of see the exhaust it had on it right there. Real decent. Somebody was trying to put some time into this, but they just ended up not wanting to do it. And then there is the Mark II Jetta. Oh God, this light doesn't do it justice. It is also on some, I think it's on eBay, lowering springs. It sits pretty nice. I plan on refinishing these wheels. I have the grill off and the lower valance off just to aid and help pulling the 8 valve that's in it. You can kind of see the interior a little bit. super mint. Brendan owned this car, got rid of it, and then got it back. It's got the optional wing on it, super rare to find. It's super clean. And then here's the POS Legacy I've talked about. I've been daily in. You guys see me do spark plugs and wires on it, and since then I've been daily driving it. This car needs a buff. I mean, every red car needs a buff. So yeah, there is the swap car and the swap candidate, or I might have that backwards. Who knows? I just kind of wanted to get you guys familiar about where we're going right now, what's going to be going on the channel. I might throw it in this video pulling the 8 valve out of the Jetta, which I probably will because nobody wants to listen to me babble and breathe heavy because I'm out of shape. Get to swapping the 8 valve now. So, got the area all clean. I got everything all organized and everything, so I got enough room around this thing to get in here. I pulled the front core support off, which had the headlights and everything. Brandon already started before I got the car. Lopped the harness off for the engine right here because that will not be needed. We are going in parallel. So basically, the way we're going to wire this car is the original wiring harness for like the headlights, turn signals, all that stuff is 2 separate harnesses, as you see here. So this is engine harness, this is headlights, you know, all that stuff. So that's going to stay there. And then the engine harness is going to come out, and we are going to run the engine off of a second fuse box for itself, and the car will have its own fuse box for it. It kind of just makes things a whole lot easier, other than trying to depin and pin and do all that for the wiring. We're just going to go, you know, power to that fuse box, power to this fuse box. It just makes it so much easier. With this being a CE1 car, if it was a CE2, it basically, like, literally would be 4 plugs, 5 plugs, I believe. And in this case, it's going to be 4 or 3 or 4. I can't remember fully. So, like I said, I took this piece off, some radiator out, all that stuff. We got to take this front motor mount off and this front K member, and that is going to, this front K member is going to come off of the Passat wagon, and it's 2 bolts right here, 2 bolts right there, and this 1 motor mount bolt, and then we're good to go with taking that out. And then the engine, there is, I don't know if you can see it right there, is 1 motor mount bolt, well, to the transmission bolt. And on this side, I have no clue yet. I haven't figured it out, so I haven't got that far. And then I need to get the brake booster bracket off of the Passat wagon. Anyways, gonna get the engine pulled probably here in the next 10 minutes. This is a real easy 8 valve motor to pull out. I do not know what all these braided lines are for, or all of this. I think it's just attached to the air box, but I don't need anything in here. I just don't want to hack any wiring. So let's get it.
Hey, we skirt, swerving, I belay, we start to merging. Tires on the creep, first gear, we start to burning. Pucker up, baby, VIP, I pull the curtain. Toils to the ground, no slip.
Alright guys, so you just basically watched a whole bunch of boring, me running around like a chicken with my head cut off stuff to find the motor mount. Over here is like way down there. You saw me use my 36-inch extension. That's for, well, I bought it for training bolts on like American cars, the bell housing bolts when you gotta go halfway down the car. Anyways, it worked perfect, especially with these Milwaukees. If you don't have one of these and you work on cars, something's wrong. Like, I got the 3/8 right here, the 1/2 inch right here with a 3/8 adapter, but this thing will crack off semi lug nuts, and I've used it many times on them. It's like 1700 breakaway. Anyways, enough about that. Had to move some brake lines out of the way to get to this training bolt. I got this front training bolt, just the whatever this is. I think it's for the injectors, to be honest, because at least that's where it looks like these braided lines go. And I'm gonna keep these because I kind of like them. I use them for something. Maybe I can shove some wiring through them or something. Anyways, got the 3 bolts I know of that hold this engine in. Let's see if we can. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to get underneath the car and pull the exhaust off, so this is gonna suck. Yo guys, so I just got the axles undone. I'm doing this super sketchy. I can't find a chain, so I'm using 1-inch ratchet strap from Harbor Freight. Try to pull this motor out. Hopefully I'll drop it. If I do, doesn't really matter as long as oil doesn't go all over my floor. I guess I'll slow-mo and hopefully we don't die. Let's see if it works. I don't even know if I have everything unhooked. I got axles, exhaust, motor mounts, most of the harness that I can see. Let's see.
Just grab a move, heavy skirt, swerving. I pull in, we start to merging. Tires on the creep, first gear, we start to burning. Pucker up, baby, VIP, I pull the curtain. Toils to the ground, no slip, just grab a move. I got that perp.
What's going on, everybody? As you saw last night, I was pulling the engine, but phone died. So you didn't get to see it all the way pulled out. I got Brandon here right now helping.
Yeah.
Gonna get some wiring done for me because I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to wiring, especially on Volkswagens. I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. So I'll kind of show you guys what we got going. So here you see Brandon's in the car, out of the car, pulling the
main engine harness from the fuse box.
Yeah, so he's pulling it through right here to get all the engine harness out, and then we're leaving the headlight harness on both sides, which I kind of want to tuck, but then again, I don't want to pull the fenders out and try to run it through here because I'm a lazy bitch. But there's the 8 valve with the tranny. I got Mitchell wanting the tranny, so that's good. And then the rest is going to scrap. And then you can kind of see we loaded up today. So let's get to work. So we got the harness out. Accidentally cut the wiper plug, but that's last minute details. Showed you guys before the 8 valve, everything's out. Right now, getting the pedals, well, trying to get the pedals out. Brandon's got all the wiring done, but I'm getting super pissed off, so Brandon's under there trying to get the pedals out. As you can see, they're kind of a fucking pain in the ball sack. Sorry for the shitty lighting, my phone's a piece of shit. But you gotta work with what you gotta work with. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mark II is pushed out. It is gutted, basically, you know what I mean. The Passat, I cut the exhaust off yesterday just to help us out. Brandon is driving the shitbox in. It's last time with a vr6 in it. Pretty soon it'll be in that. Hopefully tonight it'll be in this. I don't know about running, but you know. And it's loud as hell right now. So Pauline's probably gonna kill me. Yeet!
Purple lean up in my cup, solo red, watch the corner, bitch, skirt, or I'll spill it on the rug, so just hug that wheel, cruising angles 180, copping FC for the skids, no fucking 180s.
Alright guys, so you guys saw the Passat pulling in for the last time under its own power, unless we get a wild hair up our ass and like LS swap it or some shit. Brandon's under the dash right now, getting the wiring harness for the engine and everything, just like he was doing on the Mark II.
Yep. Taking the fuse box out because we're going from C1 to C2, so we're going to be using this fuse box. It's going to be a lot easier since we're not actually using this car, so we don't got to worry about any of the plugs that go to the dash or anything, so it should be just about like 5 plugs or so to get the VR rented in that car. We should be all good. But
Out there
it's a mess, so it's going to take a little bit to get all this out.
Yeah, so while he's doing that, I'm going to be working on engine-based stuff like pulling the air filter off, all the coolant lines, draining everything, and going underneath, doing basically everything I did to the Mark II to get the VR6 out. Once the VR6 is out, then we'll pull subframe or the K-frame and figure out what we have to do with the rear mount, because Brandon noticed that the rear mount on the Mark II is way different than this one, so we got to try to figure that out as well.
Alright, so it's me, not Josh, but he's pulling the front end apart on the Passat currently. Yeah, I guess that's one way to do it. Anyways, he's trying to get everything disconnected in the engine bay. I'm down here. I've been kind of working at the wiring for probably like 30 minutes-ish now. I got everything individualized, so we got most of this portion of the body harness out of the way. This is coming out, and this section right here is coming out. These are pretty much just for the engine compartment alone. Everything's completely separated. I know it looks like a mess. A lot of stuff I hung right here and then over here, but the ones we need are this, maybe, just in case we're going to take this one out, but this is the main engine portion right here for all the stuff to the ECU to get the car running. So yeah, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Fuse box is out already. Don't think we made a clip about that yet, but this is what the CU2 fuse box looks like. It's got all these plugs on the back and then the spot on the front for the fuses and the relays. The C1 fuse box that's in that car over there. Boom. That one only has like 5 plugs on the back, 5, 6, 7, something like that. But this one has a fuck ton, so. And we're leaking. On the bright side, the radiator in this car is actually new, so.
Yeah, they fucked it off. Zip tying the.
Oh my goodness! Look at that.
It's not horrible. I mean, I'll still be able to use it, but.
Yep, so that's kind of where we're at this second.
Yo, guys, look, no vr6. Brandon's in there right now trying to get the ignition switch out. Well, I don't know why my camera looks foggy. There we go, camera not foggy. Anyways, vr6 is out. A little more work than I thought it was going to be. I totally wanted my floor to be clean, and well, apparently the vr6 held more water in it than I thought it did. It's out. All the wiring is done, taken out of this. Still need the booster bracket off of this and the pedals. And like I said, Brandon's getting the ignition switch right now. So we're both like super pissed. Today's not gone as smoothly as we would like.
Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass.
He's trying to get the ignition switch. That way we can just plug and play the key instead of like kind of hot wiring it, right?
It's a bitch. I don't have a polar for this fucking shaft, so I've been trying to bang it with fucking flathead. It's not working very well.
Yeah, so that's where we're at right now. I'll kind of show you guys the Mark II. So you can see here under the dash, he's got both fuse boxes sitting there. The engine side is pretty much completely wired. We're just trying to figure out the ignition switch side, just to make it a little easier. Kind of doing like a standalone almost, like the engine harness is going to have its own fuse box and everything. The engine harness is already in here wired. Another thing we're having a problem with is that mount there is way different than any other one we've seen on a Mark II. So we're kind of confused on how to do that. But that is going to be the end of this video. Definitely going to do some off-camera research and figure out why that mount is way different than the rest. And